Hello, children. A very good morning. In the last presentation, we dealt with the advantages and disadvantages of non-conventional source of energy. So today, we are going to deal with the different types of non-conventional source of energy. The first type of energy that we will be dealing about is the solar energy. Solar energy, as the name suggests, it is derived from the sun, and it is an ultimate source of energy. So we've been using this source of energy for the various purposes like drying of the clothes, drying of so many things. It's been used. So India, since it is lying in the tropical temperate region, that's why India receives around about 5,000 trillion kWh of energy per year. Okay, so that is a very important source of solar energy, and it is also a huge amount of solar energy that is received by India. All this solar energy that we are talking about, it can be obtained by using various kinds of instruments and machines, like the solar collector is there, solar concentrator is there. Apart from it, solar photovoltaic system is there. All this helps in the collection of solar power. So I will be explaining as to how the system operates. This solar voltaic system that we are talking about is also known as solar cell. Okay, and it is made up of very thin wafers of semiconductor material, and which is basically formed from the silicon and gallium. And when the sun's radiation it strikes on them, the sun's energy gets converted into electricity, and it is used in the calculators, watches, telephone. And when this photovoltaic cell it is grouped together, it forms a solar panel that we usually see, where the now in places where there is a deficiency of electricity supply, in those places we see the solar panels. Are various advantages of the solar energy. One is solar energy. We all know it's renewable source of energy, and it can be harnessed, or solar energy can be derived in any part of the world, because most of the part of the world they receive the solar radiation. And then the next one is it can be used for diverse purposes, like to produce electricity wherever electricity is not there, to use it to distill the water in areas where there is very limited amount of clean drinking water, to use it in the to power the satellites where there is no electricity supply. So those are the advantages of diverse use of the solar energy. Then it does not require lots of maintenance, since solar energy, the solar panel that is there, it the manufacturers, they actually give 20 to 25 years warranty, so lesser amount of maintenance charges there. Apart from it, it does not have any of the moving part, so there's no question of wear and tear. And so after the initial cost has been paid, the other cost like maintenance and the repair decreases to a great extent, or there's no maintenance and repair cost at all. Last one is it saves the fossil fuel like coal, petroleum is saved a lot because of the use of the solar energy. Not only that, electricity bill also reduces to a great extent when we use the solar energy. Let us talk about the distribution of the solar energy. Okay, so low power applications are true in areas of favorable solar radiation. So this powering the low power variety of applications, especially in the rural area, in the remote area, forest, hilly region, desert region, it is very applicable, and it is mostly favorable in the places like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, which leads in the installment capacity, followed by Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Bihar, Kerala, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and Orissa, where the installed capacity of the solar energy is extensive or huge. Not only that, solar electrification of villages spreading rapidly. So the electrification of villages like the Saliji Palli in Andhra Pradesh, this is the first village to be fully electrified by solar energy. And not only that, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, and also in Rajasthan, solar power has become very popular. And Deccan in the Nimach district of Madhya Pradesh. It has the India's largest solar power plant, and India has tried to target the generation of 20,000 megawatt of solar energy by 2020. Apart from the solar energy, there's another source of non-conventional source of energy, that is the wind energy. And wind, it is reliable, it is non-polluting, and it is an inexpensive source of energy. So we will see as to how the generation of wind takes place, or the wind energy takes place. Sites with high speed and steady winds are best. So whichever places have very high speed wind and the steady inflow of wind is there, those are the best sites for the establishment of wind energy generation plants. Wind turbines are constructed to capture the wind. So wind turbines are also constructed so that the wind can be captured, and the kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy. The kinetic energy of the wind, it is converted into mechanical energy, and numerous turbines are built on one site known as the wind farm. So many turbines are built in one area, that is known as the wind farm. So how does the generation of wind actually takes place? In a simple way. Okay, so now what happens is the blades of the turbine that are there, blades of the windmill that is there, it rotates due to the force of the wind. And when that rotates, at that time the blade, it drives a number of machine. Okay, at that time only the kinetic energy of the wind is converted into mechanical energy, or it is converted into electrical energy. In this way, the wind energy is getting converted into electrical energy. The advantage of wind energy is that it is the cleanest form of renewable energy. It does not at all produce pollution. Okay, the second one is it reduces our dependence on the fossil fuel. Since wind energy is already there, for which we'll have to pay lesser, that's why we do not depend on the fossil fuel. So fossil fuel is safe to a great extent because of the presence of wind energy. The third one is landowner can look for additional income by installing wind turbine. So landowner, they can look for their extra income by installing the wind turbines in the land that is already utilized for the agricultural purpose. They can also sell the wind energy to the local grid, so that they can earn some money from it. High speed steady wind is not available everywhere, but India is lucky in that case, because India has a very long coastal area, and which is most favorable for the wind energy generation. The states like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra, which leads in the installed capacity, is followed by Karnataka, Rajasthan, Orissa, and Andhra Pradesh. So these are the places which has a high wind energy. Asia's largest wind farm, cluster of 150 megawatt, is in Mupandal in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and Asia's first wind farm project is in Mandvi in Kutch of Gujarat. Okay, the scientific studies are being carried out to improve the wind power harnessing and make it a more consistent and reliable source of energy in India. Now, the third non-conventional source of energy is the tidal energy. Okay, so what exactly is tidal energy? It's written here in the slide. It is the energy that is produced by rise and fall of the water due to the attraction of the sun, moon, and the earth. So when there's movement of the water, rise and fall of the water, that's because of the gravitational pull of the sun, moon, and the earth, then we call it tidal energy. So how does the generation of tidal energy takes place? It is a system of harvesting electrical energy from tide. So when electrical energy is derived from the tide, then it is known as the tidal energy. It is produced by the gravitational attraction of the sun, moon, and the earth. So how is it produced? Because of the gravitational attraction of the sun, moon, and the earth, the energy is produced. Now, it is associated with flow and ebb of the tide. So when there is inflow and outflow of the tide, then the tidal energy is generated. extraction of energy is done by creating a reservoir. So here the extraction of energy is done by creating a reservoir or a barrage. So during high tide, what happens is the water flows into the barrage and turns the turbine, which in turn produces electricity by rotating the generator. Okay, and during the low tide, the reverse happens. Whatever water is stored in the reservoir, it moves back, or it flows out of it, and in turn, what does it do? It moves the turbine. Thus generation of electricity is there. That's how the tidal energy is produced. When the reservoir is being constructed, at the time the height of the tidal reservoir must be at least 5 meters or 16 feet tall. First advantage of the tidal energy is that it is inexhaustible. Why? Because it is controlled by the gravitational force of the moon, sun, and the earth. Until and unless the earth is being orbited by the moon, the tide will continue. Thus the tidal energy will be continued, or it is, that's why it is inexhaustible. The cost of running the tidal plant is less. So after the initial cost of construction is there, after that the additional cost to keep up the tidal energy plant is very less, or the running expenses that is required for the tidal energy plant is very less. One of the most important advantage of the tidal energy plant is even if the water movement is very low, at that time also the energy can be produced. And since it is an unconventional source of energy, no carbon emission is there, so obviously no environmental pollution is also there. Now the distribution of the tidal power plant. Okay, India has a very long coastline, and since it has a long coastline, that's why estuaries are there, gulfs are there, where tides are very strong to move the turbine, so electrical power can be generated in those places. The tidal power potential in India is 9,000 megawatt. So the tidal power plant that is present in India, like the potentially identified sites like Gulf of Cambodge, Gulf of Kutch, the Sundarban region, they have the potential of 9,000 megawatt. And potential sites are Gulf of Cambodge, etc. As I've already told you, Asia's first power plant, which has the capacity of 900 megawatt. It is in Hanstal Creek near Khandala, that is in Gulf of Kutch. And India's tidal energy, it is very low currently because India is new to the concept of this tidal energy, but it is definitely exploring this form of energy to meet the power requirement. This is all for today. I'll be coming up with the next presentation dealing with the other non-conventional source of energy. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.